Hi guys, peekaboo. This is Alison Pryor. I'm going to show you how to draw an eye today. And I've had people requesting that I teach them to draw. So there are many ways to draw an eye, and there's many ways to do things, but this is my way. And I'll just lay this down so that we can give that a try. So the first thing to make it easy for you is I'm going to get you to pick up your H pencil. Now today we're going to use a H pencil, and we're going to use a H pencil, and we're going to use a 2B pencil, 2B, and we're going to use a 4B. Now I can make a long explanation about all this, but I am not going to do that today. It's a very short, quick tutorial on how to draw an eye. So this is just a blending stump, and I'll go in and this is another smaller blending stump, and a kneaded eraser. Sure, kneaded eraser is like putty, and I'll go into more detail about all these supplies later. So what I want you, and maybe some tissue, just tissue that you get out of your tissue box, okay? Just a little bit of tissue. So what we'll do is we will make it easy for you. What I'll do is I will make a couple of dots. So let's say I'm going to make a fairly big eye so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to make a dot here. You can make a dot. And I'm just guessing. I'm just going to go over here and make another dot, okay? And then just straight across from each other. And then I'm going to make a line on top of those dots, but the line is going to be curved. All right, so curve the line, and then underneath that line you're going to curve another line like a smile. Let's make a little smile. There we go. And in the middle here, or outside even, you can probably on the outside, we make a nice little tear duct. So then all you have to do there, I'm using my H pencil, and because you want to use the lightest pencil in case you got to erase. That's the only reason why we use the lighter pencils, so in case you got to erase. So then the iris takes up a lot of the eye. Try to find some reference photos, and that way you'll be able to see how much of the white to take up, okay? And then so that'll be the pupil, and then we will make a center of an iris, and then make it look like Pac-Man. I know, I just thought it'd be easier to do it that way, but because you can make a square or a circle or whatever. That's for your highlight, okay? That's for your highlight. And then you can, hopefully you can see that okay. I don't want it to blur up on you. Okay, so now you're going to make the crease in the eye, okay? Crease. Everybody has a crease in their eye, so you can go ahead and make a crease. So just follow the shape of the eye that you just did. And just quickly, I'm just going to put a little bit of an eyebrow up here. We don't want to do the eyebrow today. I'll do that some other time. I want to spend the time on the eye first. So now there we go. There you go. That's the beginning. And maybe we could put a little bit of a line down here for the bottom eyelashes. Okay, right here. Let's see how that works out. I hope this works out for you, because you never know what's going to happen when you're doing these videos. Okay, so now I'm going to take my darkest pencil for now, which is 4B is what I'm using right now. You can certainly use 8B or the darkest Bs. Bs are the dark, really dark pencils. And then the higher the number on the B is dark, the darkest. And the H pencil is the lightest, and it's got a harder lid, but I'll get into all that later. So anyway, so just fill in this part here with the dark, and then take your pencil and go back over that line again, because I did it the light way in case say you thought that wasn't round enough or whatever. You could erase that much easier, but now that you're putting the darks over it, now it might be a little harder to erase. So make sure you like what you see before you go ahead and put all the darks over it. And now you're going to put this line a darker line. Okay, so make that a darker line. All right. Now we'll darken that up. Now underneath the eye, the lid, underneath this lid here, this is the crease. Okay, I'll call this the crease. because I don't want you to get mixed up. I've seen some videos where they call this the lid. I don't know who's right or who's wrong, but we'll say that this is the top lid here. And so we'll just take that and this is going to be the shadow. There's a shadow underneath that lid. We'll do that in a minute. So just take some lines and pull them in. Pull those lines in towards the iris. All right, so just pull in some lines. That's just to get some shape to the eye and to get some shadows there, because we're going to be using our blending stump so that we can shade that out. Okay, so that's all, just to get that there like that. Perfect. Good. And you can fill it in between if you want it a little darker. Probably going to want it a little bit darker anyway, right? So there we go. Good. So what you're going to do now is you are going to leave that open there. Make sure you don't go in there, okay? Don't go in there. Even if you have to make a little circle there, just so you won't go in there. Okay, now we're going to take that line right here and we're going to, don't push on your pencil too hard. Just thicken that line up, but don't press too hard. Just a little soft shading. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do, that's good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our blending stump. Okay, the blending stump will help you get some shading and help blend out the shade. So what I'm going to do is go back over that line here, and as you can see, I'm coming up into the other line that's there. All right, see the line? So I'm going to go on top of that. Now, as I'm going on top of that line up here, I'm pushing really hard. But as I go towards the whiter part, I'm lifting up my hand a bit, so I'm not, making really, really dark. And I'm going to move it up, right up here, right up. There we go. And whatever is left over on your blending stump will shade around up here. It'll come out nice and light. So we want this nice and dark here. Let's bring that up around the corner here. Good. And then we'll just shade out here. And just keep going with the shading up on the top here, just so that you'll run out of graphite on your blending stump. So that's a good thing, because you don't want it to be too much dark shading. You want it to be nice and smooth. Nice. Okay, so we get this shadow down here, nice and blended out. Good. And you can also take your blending stump and blend out this bottom line here. Good. And the other lines, just blend around, and keep, probably move this, because your blending stump will move all your graphite around, and it won't do too much harm, because it won't erase anything or anything like that. It'll just blend things around. And let's blend out this dark edge here and this dark edge here, and then come in towards that eye. Lift up on your hand a little bit so that you're not getting too dark. Okay, so lift up, lift. Now go into the circle here, and then come out to those lines, and you can push a little bit hard there, but then as you come towards the center here, just lift, and then you get nice. There we go. Now we can do some more work with that in a minute. So down here in the corner, we don't want the white of the eyes to be too white, so we're going to add a little shadow in there. And we're going to add a little shading in here. Just shade it out. And if you put too much in, we can always take it out with the kneaded eraser. I'm going to show you how to do that now soon. So just blend out your lines. So let's go back to a 2B pencil. 2B is good. So 2B, we'll put in a few little lines up here in the eyebrow, just so you can see it. Don't worry about the eyebrow right now. I'm going to show you how to do eyebrows later, but I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm just going to throw in a few little lines just to get that done. So we'll get it out of the way, because I don't want that to be a distraction. Alright, so that's enough of that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our H pencil again. Every time you think you might need to erase, use your H pencil. So I'm just going to bring in a little bit of color in here. Not much, just a little bit. just go over that line again and back over this line a little bit here for our bottom eyelashes. Okay, good. Now, just keep going over your lines till you get them the way you want them. Now, like I said, there's lots of videos out there on how to draw an eye. So you look at several different ones and you know, pick the ones you like and then practice along with all of them, you know, a few of them, and pick out, and by the time you do a few of them, you'll have the knack of it then. And then you'll be able to do it your own way. So, let's do some eyelashes. Okay, so let's go back to that eye that I drew earlier. So let's say we want it a little bit like this, okay? So those nice eyelashes. So what I did there was I took my pencil, my 2B pencil is good because you can still erase pretty good with 2B. And I took it and I pulled out a line, a long line here. And don't go too far over the crease, just a little ways. And I did a short one, then long one, short one, and long one, and short one, and long one, short one, and long one, short one, and long. Oh, short one and long one, short, long, short, long. Okay, not too long. And a couple of little tiny ones in between. And you can crisscross them and make them look a bit natural. Okay, so just a few extra ones here in between. And you can darken those up and play with them, you know, until you get what you like. If you want some more extra ones, look at some pictures, like I said. Look at some pictures and decide how many eyelashes that person has. You can even do your own eye if you want to. And down here, you'll just do a few, pull out some of these small, large, you know, a couple of long ones and a couple, like I said, look at some reference. A couple of long, short, long. Okay, now as we get over here, it's going to get a little shorter. And there we go. So if you like what you see, now you can take your darker pencil, the 4B, and go back over those again, just to, because like I said, start off with a lighter pencil just in case you got to erase, okay? Because if you don't like what you see, then you can erase, get rid of it, and then you can go back over it. So we're going back over these again now. So that one there is a little straight, but you can fix that up. I'm just showing you on this video, you know, how you can get an eye. And let's put touch and pull out. Touch and pull out. Touch is like a little curve, isn't it? A little curve. Touch and pull down. Touch and pull down. Because the eyelashes curve, right? They curve up on top and they curve on the bottom. So I'm not going to put too many down there. So that's fine. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you. So take your blending stump and darken that line up again and probably go into those eyelashes a little bit just to darken them up a little bit to give it a kind of shadowy look. Alright, looking good. And there, just shadow it up on the corners and here. And you can also make that darker or lighter, whatever way you want. Now I'm going to show you now how to use the kneaded eraser. The kneaded eraser, you can roll it between your fingers and make it pointy, and then if you don't like this too dark in here, just take some out by tapping at it. Tap, and then you can take out a little bit more highlight here with your kneaded eraser. You have to touch it, that's all you have to do. See that pretty? And now the only other thing I could show you to do with this one for now is to take your tissue paper, and just rub over what you just did here, okay? Just rub over that with your tissue and that will soften it up for you, okay? You might want to soften up a little bit here and there, and you can bring down some what's left over on your tissue down around here. Usually under the eye there's, you know, a little bit of a darkness, but that's it for now. I'm going to leave that, and hopefully that was a help for you, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be doing lots more. So you guys have fun doing your eye, and I will see you in the next video. Happy drawing from Allison Pryor.